Today, we're rolling into one of the biggest milestones in skateboarding history: how a small shoe shop in Anaheim grew into the first skate-rooted company to ever pass $1 billion in annual sales. That moment happened in November 2011, and it cemented Vans as the most enduring brand in skate culture. To understand how they got there, we've got to go back in time. Our story starts on March 16th, 1966. Brothers Paul and James Von Doren, along with partners Gordon Lee and Serge Delia, opened a small shop called the Van Doren Rubber Company in Anaheim. What made them different was simple. They made the shoes right there in the building and sold them directly to the public the same day. On the first morning, they had 12 customers. They didn't even have enough change to break bills. So Paul Van Doren told people to take the shoes home and come back the next day. Everyone actually did. That honesty and connection with the community became part of the brand's DNA. In the early 70s, James Von Doren's son Mark, who was just 13, designed the first Vans logo as a stencil for his skateboard. The company liked it so much they put it on the heel tab of one of the early models. And it wasn't long before skaters across Southern California were calling Vans their go-to deck shoes. By the mid-70s, you couldn't visit a schoolyard bank, a driveway ramp, or a backyard pool without seeing those shoes. Then came a major turning point in 1976. Vans launched the number 95 Era, designed by Stacy Peralta and Tony Alva, and introduced a phrase that would eventually define the brand: off the wall. It came straight from the way skaters talked about going vertical in empty swimming pools. Vans wasn't just making footwear, they were branding an attitude. In the late 70s, the company kept innovating, adding the now iconic jazz stripe, adding leather panels for durability, and introducing the first slip-on. They expanded quickly, and by '79, Vans had 70 stores across California and a growing network of dealers worldwide. The moment that pushed Vans far beyond skating happened in 1982, when Sean Penn's character Jeff wore the checkerboard slip-ons in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Overnight, Vans blew up internationally. Sales doubled. The checkerboard became a cultural symbol. Suddenly, everyone from surfers and skaters to kids who had never stepped on a board wanted a pair of Vans. But rapid growth brought challenges. By 1984, Vans had expanded into too many non-skate products, and the financial strain forced the company to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. That could have been the end, but Paul Van Doren returned and led the reorganization, focusing the brand back on its strengths. By 1987, the company had paid its debts, and in 1988, Vans introduced the Steve Caballero Pro model, their first signature skate shoe. It marked the beginning of the pro shoe era and helped Vans reclaim its place in the heart of skateboarding. Throughout the 90s and early 2000s, the brand dug even deeper into the culture. Vans supported BMX, surfing, and snowboarding. They backed major events, bought the Triple Crown of surfing, co-owned the Warped Tour, and helped Stacy Peralta create the documentary Dogtown and Z-Boys. They opened House of Vans locations around the world, supporting art, music, DIY spaces, and skateboarding all at once. And then came the milestone that ties our entire story to the month of November. In November 2011, Vans became the first skateboard-rooted company to hit $1 billion in annual sales. No other skate brand in history had ever hit that number. That accomplishment wasn't just financial, it was cultural proof that skateboarding had broken into the mainstream, while somehow keeping its soul intact. From a small shop in Anaheim to 70 stores to checkerboard slip-ons on the big screen, Vans built its legacy step by step, soul by soul, and decade by decade. More importantly, they proved that staying true to your roots can take you further than anyone could ever expect. Thanks for your support, just by watching. I hope you enjoyed this November edition of the History of Skateboarding.